A chess grandmaster can glance at a board for just a few seconds and remember almost everything on it, while most people recall less than half. What makes this so surprising is that experts don't actually have better memory than everyone else. Instead, their brains organize information in a more efficient way. When beginners see chaos, experts see meaning. This difference becomes obvious in many areas of life. A beginner programmer might see hundreds of confusing symbols on a screen, while an experienced developer instantly understands the structure of the code. A math student may struggle to keep track of formulas, while a professional recognizes familiar patterns immediately. The information hasn't changed, only how it's perceived. This mental advantage comes from a skill called chunking. Chunking allows the brain to group small pieces of information into larger, meaningful units. Instead of processing dozens of separate details, the brain handles a few powerful patterns. This lets experts work with far more information using the same mental capacity as anyone else. Research has shown that human working memory can only hold a small number of items at once, around 4 meaningful units. Beginners quickly fill this limited space with isolated facts, causing mental overload. Experts, however, use those same slots to store entire patterns, each one containing many connected details. This is why experts appear faster, calmer, and more confident. Chunking is not limited to chess. Musicians hear musical phrases rather than single notes. Fluent speakers think in expressions instead of translating word by word. Engineers see systems instead of parts. Mastery in any field comes from learning to recognize patterns rather than memorizing isolated facts. Building this skill takes deliberate practice. Studying the work of experts helps reveal repeating structures. Naming patterns makes them easier to recall. Practicing recognition in different situations strengthens understanding. Over time, these patterns become automatic, allowing complex ideas to feel simple. Learning effectively is less about storing more information and more about organizing it better. Instead of forcing the brain to remember everything, the goal is to compress knowledge into meaningful chunks. This shift transforms confusion into clarity and effort into intuition. Athletes often stretch before physical activity to prepare their bodies and reduce the risk of injury. Stretching is commonly believed to protect muscles from strains and tears. But to understand how effective it is, we need to look at what actually happens inside the body during a stretch. There are 2 main types of stretching. Dynamic stretching involves controlled movement through a full range of motion, while static stretching involves holding a muscle in a lengthened position for a set amount of time. Each method affects the body differently and serves a specific purpose. Muscles are not like rubber bands. Instead of being purely elastic, they are viscoelastic, meaning they respond to both movement and time under tension. When a muscle is stretched, it gradually adapts to the stress, allowing it to lengthen more easily over repeated stretches. At a microscopic level, muscles are made up of tiny units called sarcomeres. These structures allow muscles to contract and relax. With consistent stretching, muscles can adapt by adding more sarcomeres, enabling them to maintain strength over a greater range of motion. Short-term stretching increases flexibility temporarily, but these effects fade quickly if the muscle is not kept warm or active. Long-term improvements require frequent and consistent stretching over weeks or months. Research suggests that regular stretching sessions can lead to lasting changes in both muscle structure and pain tolerance. Greater flexibility can improve joint mobility and may reduce injury risk in activities that demand a wide range of motion. However, excessive flexibility can also increase injury risk if joints become unstable. This means stretching should be tailored to the specific demands of an activity. Not every sport benefits equally from stretching. Activities with limited joint movement may not see significant injury reduction from flexibility training. The most effective approach is one that matches stretching habits to lifestyle, movement needs, and performance goals.